Your Honors, a search for the truth is by no means unconstitutional. In pursuit of the truth behind the arson responsible for the death of Sheldon Brown, Detectives Sam O'Leary and Alex Jones interviewed Dakota Allen and his friend Quinn Patel on September 22, 2012. Both teens and their parents willingly agreed to his questioning, and the suspects were free to leave at any point. Yet today, Mr. Allen has claimed that this interview was conducted on unconstitutional grounds. Let me walk you through how we have met our burden of proving by a preponderance of the evidence that the defendant's statements are admissible in this criminal trial. To meet this burden, we needed to establish two things. First, that no custodial interrogation occurred, and second, that there was no improper coercion involved in obtaining the defendant's confession. Our first point today is the Fifth Amendment issue of the difference between an interview and a custodial interrogation. The case of JDB v. North Carolina established an objective determination for whether or not a suspect is involved in a custodial interrogation based on the circumstances surrounding the interview and whether or not a reasonable person would have felt that he or she was at liberty to terminate the questioning and leave. And the defendant's particular mindset is completely irrelevant in this determination. In this case, both Detectives Sam O'Leary and Alex Jones, as well as the defendant himself, agreed that the interview took place in an unmarked police car with no screen. It was truly an informal setting. The suspects were also taken to lunch and told that they could call their parents at any point. Mr. Allen even said that he had his cell phone on him for the entire day. Furthermore, in the case of Stansbury v. California, it was determined that there must be some sort of formal arrest or restraint on liberty in order for a person to be involved in a custodial interrogation. Yet in this case, neither suspect was handcuffed nor placed under arrest until after the defendant's confessions. Therefore, no custodial interrogation occurred and no Miranda warnings were necessary. Our second point today, Your Honors, is the 14th Amendment issue of improper coercion. Both Detectives Sam O'Leary and Alex Jones agreed that all proper police protocol and procedures were followed throughout this case. Also, the defendant repeated his confession a second time to his father, sometime after his interview with Detective O'Leary had concluded, and completely independent of the detective and his question. The defense has offered no evidence in this case, like the circumstances in the cases of Ashcroft v. Tennessee, in which a suspect was interrogated for 36 hours with no sleep. Or like the case of Haley v. Ohio, in which a child was questioned for hours through the dead of night. In this case, the suspects were questioned in public places. They were given a break and fed lunch. It was nothing like the circumstances in the cases that involved improper coercion. Therefore, no improper coercion occurred. Finally, the defendant's medication issue is a complete red herring. The defendant was not deprived of any medication because both Detectives O'Leary and Jones said that neither the defendant nor his father ever mentioned nor requested medication at any point during the interview. School psychologist Casey Highlander also said that Mr. Allen is not dependent on his medication. He's a very smart and intelligent kid, really thoughtful actually. Dr. Highlander also said that Adderall has no effect on cognitive ability, so whether or not it was present would have no effect on the defendant's ability to answer questions. In conclusion, the interview between Detective O'Leary and the defendant was not a custodial interrogation, and no Miranda warnings were necessary. No improper coercion was involved in obtaining the defendant's two confessions. The defendant was not deprived of any medication, nor was it in any way necessary for him to answer the questions posed of him. Even defense witness Alex Jones agreed that all of the interview tactics used in this case are completely acceptable and in accordance with all laws. Therefore, the defendant's motion to suppress should be denied because neither his Fifth nor 14th Amendment rights were ever violated. After all, a search for the truth is by no means unconstitutional. Thank you.
All right, defense closing.